Hi, I'm also.
Hey, I'm Will Charmer. Hi, I'm Quinnty Fresh. I'm Jaysin Waterfalls. And you're watching Kings on Tap. Welcome to our very first Kings on Tap Intro to Kings workshop. My name is Laughin. We are going to be discussing drag etiquette. I've broken it down into 3 categories: before show, during show, and after show. All right, let's do this thing. Before the show, please publicize your shows. Attendance is important. It is incredibly important. If you have no audience, there's no one to perform for. So y'all are here exceptionally early, so good on you. But come early and be ready by call time. Do not be coming in late. If you are going to be late though, then please notify the show runner. What is it, Oso?
Hold on.
Don't show up drunk. Please and thank you. Don't be drunk during the show in general. You can have a drink, just, don't show up drunk, and be drunk during the show. Same thing goes with drugs as well. Don't show up on drugs or do drugs in the bathroom.
Just don't be messy.
Yeah, don't be messy. Don't be messy. We are professionals at the end of the day. When you are backstage, keep your hands to yourself. That also does mean keep your hands to your own bags. Don't go through other people's bags without asking permission. Just know, but you're making an impression from the moment you arrive at the venue. You're handling yourself as professionally. You're an ambassador for the drag community and for the show that you are a part of. If you do have a tip runner during your show, then please ask your tip runner if it's okay to be throwing tips up in the air during your act. Usually for Kings on Tap, we don't have tip runners. So you gotta pick up your own stuff and you're doing that at your own peril. But if you happen to be blessed with a tip runner, please ask them first, because up and down gets old really fast. Any trigger warnings before your numbers, please let the host know. That way they can discuss them and tell the audience about the triggers during the number. Ask if you can make a mess, especially with alternative drag. Blood is fun, glitter is fun. Be ready to clean up your own mess afterwards, but always be sure to ask.
Keeping your items to your little
Keep your backstage clear.
Keep
Wrapping.
backstage clear. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, what did I mean by that?
Don't throw your shit all over the
Yeah,
room.
don't throw your stuff all over the place. I'm trying to keep it as
not your
contained
bed,
as
man.
humanly possible. No hot gossip before a show. I've been to too many shows where people just come in and they're airing stuff. It creates a vibe of negativity, and for a lot of entertainers, we got to be up and happy. So no hot goss backstage during or before a show. If you're not a dresser or a performer, even if your friend's in the show, don't come backstage, because we only have so much space to get ready, and it's also very distracting.
People are naked.
And people are naked, exactly. Ask permission before climbing on anything. If you feel like you want to stunt and do something crazy, ask the bar first or the showrunner first before you jump onto any tabletops. If your number involves any kind of nudity, please ask first. If you need any accommodations like a water or a chair, then please let the showrunners know beforehand. There are tips that y'all would like to throw out for pre-show, just pre-show.
I think one last thing.
Yeah.
I think also, if you're going out to the show, make sure that you come early. If you come early, tip around, introduce yourself to your guests, introduce yourself to the audience, make that connection, because I'm pretty sure that it's gonna bring them back. It's gonna make things more personal for everyone. I feel like
They feel more welcome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're paying you with tips, so feel welcome.
Yeah, exactly. During a show, ask for consent when touching audience members. Consent is what?
Sexy.
Yeah. Don't snatch your tips away. Take a moment, because the audience member is giving you money because they're appreciating your performance. Don't snatch it. And I'm looking at the camera. I'm not looking at you, Osa. I'm not saying.
So.
But just don't snatch it from them and run away. Take a moment with your audience member. Give them a nod, blow a cute little kiss, whatever you want to do, before gently pulling the tip out and then walking away. Walking away. You have brought friends with you. First of all, that is a big plus for all shows. Bring your friends. But if you have brought friends with you to the show, make sure that after your number's done, that they don't just up and leave. Clean up your mess after your number is done. So if you make a mess, be sure to clean it up. The bar staff will not do it for you.
Try to be active, like when another performer is out there. Like, you all are part of a cast. Like, we're all there to like support one another. So, not saying that you have to throw all the tips that you gave, but like maybe like $1 or $2, like hype up the crowd, because a lot of the crowds don't know that they're there for a drag show some of the time. So like show them like how to like interact with the performer, like be like the over the top like energetic person, being like yeah, so that they feel more comfortable doing that on their own.
Because there's nothing scarier than performing to a quiet room. Ugh.
Yup, when you hear the click of your shoe.
Whew.
Oh, but be mindful of how long your number is. Like, definitely understand like what the venue calls for, because if you have a 15-minute number and everybody's doing 5 to 7 minute numbers,
Yeah.
it's not as courteous.
Right. But there are some venues where you can get away with an 8, 9, 10 minute mix. But if you're in a small room, nobody wants to see that.
You also have to be conscious of the mixes that you perform at specific venues. Like, not every single mix that you make is going to work at every venue. You have to, scope the crowd. Even outside of shows, come out to a show that you've never performed in, that you've never been out, just to scope the crowd, see what it looks like. Because you may think that your mix is amazing, but the message may not come across, or it won't work.
Ask the showrunner, like, if it's appropriate for the venue. Like, it may not be a family-friendly show, but that doesn't mean that you can show your ass.
Right. Moving on to the very last tip for after show. Make sure you pay your tabs. Do not walk out of here without paying your bar tab. Further, tip your bar staff. Clean up your station. Ask for feedback and be open to critique. The only way that you're going to get better is if you receive feedback. And finally, after the show, whenever you have a chance, be sure to thank your show coordinators.
Kind of like the whole like pre-show or like during show coming out, and like I understand that some of us get double booked, triple booked, and like we gotta book it, or we have other prior engagements. But after like the second half, like, and you're done with your number, try and like come out and like just like a little, like, doesn't have to be as extravagant as the outfit that you performed in, but something like cute where you can just kind of like walk around, tip around. That way when callbacks come up, like you still in like full like outfit, so that you're still presenting yourself in like the best light. And it also like lets the guests like talk with you and like create like a connection, be like, oh my gosh, like this person was so funny, so amazing, like on stage and off stage. I want to go to another one of their shows or something that they're promoting.
I think one thing pre-show is try your best to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for the show. Because like, personally speaking, there have been shows that I've done where like mentally, like I haven't been at my best or in a good space. And like I get social anxiety a lot. So like having to interact with people even after the show, taking pictures, saying, thank you for coming, that interaction wears me out a lot sometimes. So make sure that you do things proactively to make sure that you're not burning yourself out, because it's one of the biggest things with drag is a social thing. Do healthy things to cope with what's gonna happen in drag.
That's a lot.
Don't be afraid to use accessibility aids. Like, if you're neurodivergent, which we're drag kings, most of us are, like, if you need to wear headphones to muffle the sound because you know the venue is going to be loud, do it. Like, if anything, it's going to encourage other people to also do it. Like, the same thing goes with mobility aids. Like, Quinnty and I both use canes. Like, the more you see people doing it, the more other people are going to be comfortable doing it and incorporating it into their numbers and actually being comfortable at shows. Like, Like, there's a lot of internalized ableism there, of course, but if you need an accessibility aid, don't hesitate to use it.
For your performances, know your music, know your song. If you put it together, awesome. If you had someone else put it together for you, still good. Learn it so that you know if you're going to do a reveal, if you're going to do a big stunt, if you're going to surprise the crowd somehow, if you just knowing your lyrics, because drag was once live singing, and we've been able to transform over the years where they used to outcast those who lip sync, and now that's taken over. So if you're going to lip sync. Really get your words down, and if you don't know, if you really are struggling, don't be afraid to just say thank you as you take $1.
Yeah.
Find someone with money, interact with the person, say thank you.
Take the dollar in your mouth if you don't know the words.
Don't be wrong.
Do what you need to do to distract if you can't.
And it gives you a little break, like when you're saying thank you, even though like the song is going on, you're saying thank you while you're grabbing a tip, or just taking a moment, taking like a personal moment, like let's say like with Will, right? Like you're performing and then like thank you, whatever. It gives you like a little mental break sometimes, because your songs can you can see something, you can feel something that will trigger something during the song, and it'll just give you a mental break to be able to do that, to kind of just recollect yourself and just continue on. Mm-hmm. If you need someone to be out in the crowd as like a rock or someone to like center yourself, and if you need that, please let
An emotional support person.
yeah.
Going off of that, be able to go with the flow. If something happens, know when to go and know when to stop. You've tripped a little, or you didn't do the reveal, but the audience doesn't know that. They don't know your number yet. So you can keep going. Don't let faltering stop you, so that you still give a performance. They're there to see a performance. They don't know what to expect.
You gotta keep that fantasy alive, even if like you do trip up or like you forget the words or whatever. Just mouth something.
I'd say my motto is, if you fumble, when in doubt, camp it out. Because 9 times out of 10, the crowd's gonna live for like you doing something stupid when you fumble, or when you like mess up your words, or like anything like that. Because they're there to be entertained. Like at the end of the day, we're all entertainers. If you can be the highest of drag, you can be like the altiest, like the campiest. But at the end of the day, we're all entertainers.
Remember that you're making an impression from like the time that you're booked. Like how you interact with the showrunner, how you interact with the other people in the cast, how you
Pre-show,
Yeah,
putting your
group
music
chat.
in on time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Get your
Yeah.
music in on time.
you're going to be making an impression from the moment you start to the moment you leave.
These are your coworkers.
Yeah, we're co-workers here.
Whether you work with these people again or so, these are your coworkers, and your resume is going to carry from each show that you perform at.
In and out of drag. If they recognize you outside of drag and you're coming to other shows and you are still being rude, show your appreciation for other people's drag as well.
If you can't tip with money, then tip with your attitude.
Yep, tip with your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if y'all are out and about, and if you've ever wanted to become a drag king, we are here in Charlotte. We are Kings on Tap, and we are here every second Wednesday at Hattie's Tap and Tavern.
You can tap us for help.
Yes, and you can tap any of these fine people for help.
Tap me anytime.